Hello. um, Hi. Give me a second. Yes, I'm late. Hi. I'm 2 minutes late. It's not too bad. Um, I was trying to get the chat set up, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I think what I'm gonna end up having to do is, let me see here. I'm just gonna capture the window instead. Ba, ba, ba. Where's... Oh, as you can see, I have not fully recovered yet. But we're here. We're vibing. We're taking it easy today. Um, where is... See, I switched over to a Mac. I finally switched over to the Mac Mini, but this is my first time streaming with it, so I'm not sure. I'm still learning how Macs work, and everything is labeled differently in the Mac OS compared to Windows, and I'm not used to it. I have not used a Mac OS since maybe 1990. I want to say 1999, maybe 2000. That was maybe the last time I used. No, that's not true. That's when I learned to use a Mac, but the actual Mac usage. Hold on, I just realized I'm peaking a lot here. Let me just bring the volume down a little bit. Um, the actual uh, the actual last time I used a Mac was, I think, in the 11th, or no, it was the 12th grade, because I was taking a graphics 12 class, and Mr. O'Neill wanted all of us to use Macs for our projects, and I remember struggling a lot with the keyboard shortcuts, so I just brought in my tablet to draw everything manually instead. Um, but yeah, no, I think that was the last time I used a Mac. So this is interesting. Oh yeah, also, if I sound weird, different, it's because my audio interface is not compatible with the new Mac OS system, because it is a UAD and it runs on ASIO. And apparently the silicone the silicone chips don't like that. The new silicone chips don't like that, since I think it was from version whatever. I think it was from Ventura. No, whatever was after Ventura onwards. It's been shit apparently. So I'm still keeping my old laptop for recording. But for things like live streaming and like voice calls and stuff like that, I was like, ah, shoot, I need to get a headset mic. So I switched over to a headset mic for live streams for now until that thing is fixed. Also, it's just useful to have, because sometimes I'm too tired for a proper mic setup, and all I am is just like being in Discord with friends. So this is for those days. And yeah, I used to have like a really 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 nice one, because I had used it for work back in the day when I did like call center stuff, but I ended up giving that away to a mutual, I think a few years ago, because I was just clearing stuff out and they were in much more desperate of a need for the headset mic than I was, so I gave it to them. So it's okay. It wasn't too badly priced, so I'm okay paying what I did for it, for this one. I would not have paid the price of the old one again, because that one was I remember that one being like pretty pricey. So yeah. That being said, yeah, I this is gonna be a live chat replay will be on, I guess, if it's applicable. But otherwise, no, we're just here vibing today, and that's okay. Um, did not change. Yeah, I didn't change the thumbnail in time because I was too busy trying to organize my thoughts for the actual stream. I was like, oh, I can fix the thumbnail later. That's okay. Um, so on the thumbnail, you'll see the anime face. If you're just clicking in, if you're watching the VOD, likely I will have changed it to the photo, hopefully, if I'm not too tired. Um, but yeah, uh, JFCA wrapped up. Holy cow. Holy moly. Also, I should really mention, Thank you, Spider She, for taking this lovely photo of me. She made me look really good on a day that I didn't exactly feel like I'll get into it, but like she really knows how to make her bestie look good. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, it. There were a lot more other photos that were taken, but this was the one that was used for JFCA promotional stuff. So that's why I'm using it here. And I also that's the other thing. Like none of my stuff is compatible with the new Mac, like including my SSD. Like I can read it and I can like pull stuff from it, but I can't save things onto it anymore. And so like I just decided to remove it. But then also the new headset I got is USB-A. And there's only one USB-A port because I got a hub for it. And there's only one USB-A hub, like thing in the hub, and my external hard drive is also USB-A, and I'm just like, I don't want to bother changing it out right now. So F it. We're gonna figure something else out. And then I remember the photos were a thing, so I was like, okay, I'll put on Spider She's handiwork on display. I did edit the photo myself, but the shots themselves were taken by Spider She. Um, okay. I should probably start by this. Hi, hello. Um, I am still kind of reeling from everything, both good and bad. So, I think the good part's obvious. The really obvious part of the good part is that the show went well, all things considered. And I know on the surface it may not seem like the most polished, especially if people are used to coming to more of my performances. They might not be used to it being more like, mm, I describe it as more of a good time than it is a concert. Like you're not here to see a concert, you're here to see a show kind of a thing, and that was intentional, because we did not have a lot of time to prepare for this slot. So for some, I guess now I'm allowed to say it because all the programming is out and whatnot, and like please do not see this as a way of like poo-pooing on JFCA. Like Andrew, the Andrew Scott, the VP, who's also the showrunner for JFCA, did literally all that he could, um, given the circumstances that he was handed, and I could not have. I still consider it a blessing that we even got to perform with Anime North live. If I am being genuinely honest. Um, that being said, the original plan was that I was supposed to have a 20-minute slot to myself. That was the original plan. But um, because of circumstances that were out of Andrew's control, and I know what those circumstances are because I used to work for JFCA, due to the circumstances being out of his control, he could only save a select few acts, and it just so happens that like the ones that worked with Anime North were a bit easier to save because we just had to represent our um, what's the word? We're able to represent our events within Anime North. So for me, it's a dance cover show, and we always send. Well, we always offer like here's our short list of dancers. Andrew picked two. That's usually how it goes. Um, this year he did not pick because he wanted to originally just offer me those two DCS slots as a singer. Because technically I'd also made it to Anime North Idol finals as well. Like Vivi and I were both finalists, and Vivi was the one that won. Um, so like in his mind, like that made sense. In my mind also it made sense. But then I remembered, wait a second, I remember how I started. Singers and dancers, like the Yutaite and the Odoite, used to be a lot more. The lines were not as divided back when I started. Back when I started, it was they intersected a lot. Like you would find a lot of Yutaite who also danced and a lot of Odoite who also sang, and vice versa. And or like they would a Yutaite who sings will also know an Odoite who dances, and they'll just collaborate a lot. So that used to be a thing back in like first, second, third generations of Yutaite. Um, like during its I want to say like during its growing pain days. You don't see that much anymore because of the V Singer shift, but before V Singers, live performance and Utaite were greatly intersecting. Like they would hold hands, they were buddies. So I thought, well, and at this point I did know Hatsune Miku was technically a special guest for this. I didn't know exactly to what extent because that part was still being figured out at the time, but at this point I knew Miku was going to be there and I knew Krypton Future Media was going to be there. So I was like, you know what? This it just feels right to say we had a lot of Project Sekai dance acts or like dancers from the Project Sekai community in Toronto perform for us at DCS this year, and a lot of them were going to be the shortlists anyway that we were going to send to Andrew. So I was like, what if I sing with the dancers? And he's like, I like that. I love that. So because it was now going to be mostly led by me, the responsibility of choosing the dancers was then now transferred to me this year. Will it happen next year? I don't know. Probably not. That really depends. It depends if we're gonna have a similar debacle next year or not. You can never tell. You can never tell with JFCA, especially like as it gets bigger every year. It's harder to predict like what the needs are and what the city and also the budget is able to allocate, etc., etc. There was also the fact that like last year for 2024, a lot of acts got canceled because of the weather, because we had a thunderstorm last year, and I think that pushed the show back by like 4 to 6 hours. So, like for instance, Oishi Oreos was supposed to debut last year on the JFCA stage, but they debuted it this year instead because they lost that slot. Because of the rainstorm. So I'm very happy for them. I'm happy I got to see like a little bit of their show before I had to run to the green room. But yeah, I'm very proud of them. Um, they are also I think that some of their members are also dancers with Kiraboshi as well, who is also DCS dancers. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, everything is cyclical. Life is cyclical. Everything comes back together, and I think we are entering that stage again where singing vocalist Yutaite and dancing Odoite are now starting to, stand side by side more and more now, which I'm looking forward to personally, because that's my background. That's where I started. 15 years ago now? Maybe longer? If I don't count me officially becoming a Yutaite, then it was longer, for sure. I'm old, guys. um, yeah, so as soon as I got the okay from Andrew, I messaged Millie. I was like, Millie, Millie, oh my gosh, that stuff is going down. We gotta do it. Yeah, I was freaking out, and Millie's like, okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. Oh my gosh. But then I told her what's going on. She's like, okay, now we're locking in. She locked in. We looked through the acts. We originally choose based on the acts as a whole, as in like the dances themselves, but we got a memo from those who showed interest in performing for JFCA this year that um, those groups were no longer like it was no longer gonna be one to one with those groups, and it's just like they wanted to do another song where they'd all be together instead. Um, but the thing is, I really, really, really wanted to preserve Flyer. That was already being prepared with Yumimi for like at least a month or two before we got the news that my act got cut. Um, so I wanted to preserve Flyer no matter what. And so I was like, okay, Natty is still the leader of this group. I also would like the other two that are joining her, but Flyer is originally for 5 people. Okay, if I trust Natty to, so much. I should mention like so much of me and the JFCA prep this year was trusting the process. My poor friends also bless their souls. I love them to pieces. while in the process of trying to keep me alive, first of all, because I'll get to that eventually, but like in the process of also trying to keep me alive, they're also just like, Alti, are you good? Like, you're, you know, are you doing okay? And I'm like, no, I don't think I am. Because I recognize that I got as far as I did because I was so like I knew exactly how I wanted things and how um like what the vision was. Halfway through chapter 1, I want to say, no, maybe like the final third of chapter 1, I lost that. I gave it up a lot. I gave up a lot of that. Um for multiple reasons. And so JFCA was really that big test of just like how badly do you want this and are you ready to claim back that control, but also realizing the control can only go so far. Like there were some things that I could control. Like for instance, I can control which um I could control one song, and I was given two. I was given enough slots for two. I can control one of them, and that was Flyer. I could not control who Natty chose to build what would become Wonder Street. I could not choose 100% what song Reset wanted to do because Reset originally came on to DCS with Overdose by Natori, and that song unfortunately not only did it not fit the theme of the event but also it's a little bit on the risque side. I mean I was kind of risque too, but like it wasn't too spicy, and like it was just spicy enough where it was family friendly, but like when I had asked S and Aaron, like, I really want you guys to perform with me, but like here, like, please choose a song that is like related to Utaite or Yutaite or Vocaloid, um, and something that you two can learn quickly because we only had a month. It was either I, which is what we ended up going with, or it was Ameto Petra. Obviously, if it's singing, Ameto Petra is easier for me. That is a given. That is 100%. But then I looked at the choreography video. What, bro? What choreography? It wasn't there. I'm just like, I can't. No, I'm literally asking these two to perform with me because I know how good they are. Why in the world am I gonna nerf them with a song that doesn't even have proper choreo? No, we're not doing that. So, challenge number one for LT. Learn to sing a Giga song again. Which I had lost all faith in since Ultra C. Because Ultra C was not my best performance. Oh, hi, Rose! Hi, lack of choreo. Yeah, it's more like so much of it is just like hyping up the audience and like changing positions and then hyping up the audience and then changing the position. Ultra Steve mentioned, yeah, thank you. I appreciated everybody's hard work into Ultra C, but that was not. I put in way too much of my energy for the output that came out. Anyway, that was a hard song, but yes, one day I will redeem it. One day, yeah. But yes, hi, how are you, Rose? Um, but yeah, compared to what I saw them do, right? Because like I saw them perform Overdose. And Overdose has a lot of like choreographed movement. And that's I think what their strength was in. Now, the next one was I, which is not the Marin and Kobo version, it is the Justin and Senna version, which I also feel was very appropriate, not just for the way that they dance, but also for the theme, because Senna Kiruin is also a V singer slash yutaite, who also happened to be the main vocalist, the main lyricist for the original song. So I I'm just like, okay. And we did discuss like, oh, what should we do? What should we do? And I'm just like, you know what? F it, we ball. Challenge accepted. I'll learn I for you guys. I think it was, I think it was it S or was it Aaron who emailed me back? And they're like, I like your attitude. I was like, okay, hopefully I don't let you guys down. I, in my old age, quote unquote old age, I'm 32, but like as like a performer whose physicality is not 100% there anymore, I have grown a lot more critical of myself, I think, than I was in my late teens and early 20s when I was the most active. My people, me too. I love these guys so much. Oh my gosh, I'll gush about them more in a bit. But like, uh, they were down. They were gonna practice. One, two, go, and then in the meantime, Natty was. I contacted Natty first about Flyer, and I was like, "Hi, Natty. I saw your thing. I'm so sorry. You're free to tell me no if you don't want to do this, but you, Mimi, and I are gonna do Flyer, and this song was already planned before everything ended up the way it did. So I leave finding the members to you because you're the one that's gonna be spending the most time with them. I trust you and your abilities to find the people that will work best with you to learn the song in time." I think it took her, I want to say, about a week or two. And remember, we only had a month. I think about a month to get ready for the show. Um, I want to say she found it in about a week. I think less than a week. Yeah, because 2 weeks doesn't make sense. 2 weeks is too long. Within about a week, she recruited uh, Kucky, Orbit, and Vince, who would then form Wonder Street. The name was not selected until, gosh, I want to say a week before showtime. Like I said, this is very go go go. But when I saw the list, I was shook because also like and then she also mentions that I could not find a fifth member because the fifth person that I had in mind didn't feel confident in learning the song in time. And I was like, that's fair. We can make, like, I'm okay with four if you're confident that you can make it work. And she's like, yeah, I can make it work. Um, or rather, I think she said it first, like, we'll make it work. Don't worry, we'll make it work. Um, but when I saw the list, I was shocked because Kaki Orbit and Vince unfortunately did not get a slot in DCS this year. His group did not pass lottery. The other two I met this year during the performances, and I loved both of their sets very much. Um, all three of them would have been my ideal picks if I were the one to choose the teams. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What? This is going too well. Like this is going too well. I never have things go this well. What's going on? um and I did end up telling them much later that like all of you guys were my first picks. Like I know I trusted Natty with the selections, but like, and I did say in the thank you note to Natty as well, the fact that you were even able to pick my first picks just shows what your standards are, what your skills and your abilities are, and what your level of trust is. So thank you for your hard work. Um, I I I very look forward to their careers moving forward. Yeah, very coincidental. It's not just coincidental. It's just it was spooky. It's like I'm a spiritual guy, so maybe there is a layer of that as well. But like I when things were locking into place, I had to keep checking myself with the tarot cards. I'm just like, what? Am I just losing it? Like, what's going on here? And what came out it repeatedly over and over and over again was that like this is your new chapter. You are going to decide how you move forward from here. Whatever happens here is going to then decide how you live out the rest of your life. And for me, this is already my third chance, fourth chance, maybe, after failing. And so. Hi, Nessie. Sorry. It's me. It's me. But you know that because she saw my face before. She took the photo. Is it? Is it? Didn't she do such a good job? She did such a good job. Gift claps to Spider She. Ta 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 ta. She took really good photos. She brought out her DSLR for it, and she's like click 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 click. She's like halfway through the photo, she's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." I was like, "I just oh my god," like, whoo, like fanning herself. Just like, girl, I'm trying to keep a straight face and professional. Do not make me laugh, please. But then Trains also said something funny, like on the other side, and I lost my shit when that was said. And so there's a really really awkward photo of me like losing my composure while trying to keep the pose. But yeah, this is one of the better shots. The photo's amazing. Thank you. Spider, she did a really good job. And then all I did was edit it. I just edited the photo. But yeah, back to the story. Um, tarot cards said basically the cards I got regularly were the Emperor, the World, and more often than not it was in reverse, and the Fool upright. Those three cards would pop up a lot. And when my friends saw it, they were like, "What? What is going on?" But uh, yet again, the cards are right. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what it meant, but the cards were right. And so at that point, I just realized I have to trust the process. It is terrifying. I'm not used to giving up this much control, but I have to trust the process. But I couldn't totally give up control either because I'm still the leader for these segments. I needed to haul ours. So, this is probably a good time to mention what I was having to work with while I was preparing for JFCA, and also Don't Look Back. So about halfway through Don't Look Back's production, I experienced anorexic relapse. So my anorexia came back, unfortunately, and I think it was by early June, shortly after my birthday, I want to say. I no longer have the chat records to check anymore because we ended up just blick the chat to create the server we have now. But like when I hit that rock bottom, I was in like a lot of pain. I was just in fetal position mode. I had not been in that much um emotional and physical pain due to starving myself since, oh my gosh, maybe since my second year in Toronto, which was I think 7 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. Um, oh, thank you for the hugs, Rose. I'm doing better now, but if you all came by earlier and saw how much of a hot mess I was while setting this up, you'll know that I'm not 100% cured yet. Um, I am in the process of connecting with resources within the community, like with nonprofit resources, to expedite or keep myself from falling back even more. But leading up to JFCA, I was wrestling with that and also the imposter syndrome. Because, like I said, I'm not, in the 15 years that I have been doing this, maybe longer, I'm not used to things going well. I am not used to things going right. And things were going right, and it was scaring me. Not, well, not me, it was scaring my body because it got too used to failure. It got too used to disappointment, and it wasn't being disappointed. And so it was constantly doubting itself. It's like, is this for real? Am I dreaming? No, that can't be. Like, something's gotta go wrong. Something has to go wrong. But that's how self-fulfilling prophecies work. And so I knew that. And at some point, if you look at my Instagram post, oh gosh, I don't know if I can. Can I post it here? No, I cannot. If you go on my Instagram, the handle is altair underscore 6225, same as Twitter. I wrote a bunch of thank you notes for people who helped me with JFCA. But if you go all the way to the end, you'll see one addressed to the snack cupboard crew. The snack cupboard crew, Spider She is one of them. I'm not going to disclose the other members for their privacy, because the things that they have done for me, I like when I say that I would when they were keeping me alive, I'm not kidding. That's not an over exaggeration. I could have gone to the ER or worse had I not reached out to them for help. But in that one moment, because I was so desperate, because I was in that fetal position, because I knew I had to reach out, I haphazard, I think I forgot one person, or like I was hesitant to add like the fifth person in our group because I didn't know whether he would be okay with me adding him, but like ended up reaching out and being like, no, I care. I care and thank you. um, and I love you very much. And so that was a relief for me. But in that message, I'm just like, you guys know that I have a really, really hard time asking for help. So as terrifying as it is for me to reach out right now, I need your help. I can't bring myself to even swallow my food. And like I think I am relapsing. Like I think I have a rough idea of what I need, but I can't do it alone right now because like I'm literally stuck frozen. Um, it was like I love them so much. Oh my gosh. They all locked in. They locked the F in. Um, one of them suggested is like let's make an actual server. Like don't do it in the DMs. Like DMs are gonna get chaotic. They're gonna get lost. Let's make the server. Um, and then another one was just like, "Oh, server, I got you. I can make a server real quick." Whipped it up really, really quick. Created a system where it is the best way I can describe it is like it's basically like we each have our own cupboard, which is why we got the name Snack Cupboard, um, because we are the snacks, but also me and one other person in that group had to constantly be reminded to eat. So that was for different reasons. Mine was because of the disorder. For them is for other reasons. But like we each have our own little cupboard, our little cubby now, and so we just share our progresses with each other there without having to exhaust our emotions in the process. And had it not been for that, I don't know if I would have been able to go through with all the JFCA stuff because it wasn't until after that server got established and I then set up further boundaries outside of that server. So like there were some folks that my own father included where I had to respect myself first. I had to prioritize my own boundaries first. And so as rude as it may appear to the other and also maybe like they might not understand, which honestly it says a lot in this case, but um I had to I had to say no. I had to say I'm not talking to you until I am back on my feet and have the knowledge and withal to be able to continue this discussion about respect in a respectful way that isn't going to have me in an emotional mess. I am not talking to you. Do I wish them the best? Obviously. I'm doing this out of love. But, like, even if it's hurting their feelings, I have to put my own feelings first. That's what I learned. And so all of this was happening at the same time. But yeah, it's so sweet. I'm so glad you were brave enough to reach out. Thank you, Rose. I am too. That was the other thing too, right? Like I could tell you guys to have a brave day, but like, what kind of groundskeeper would I be if I don't take my own advice? Right? I'd be such a hypocrite. Um, so yeah, I had to be brave. I had to. I had no choice. But thank you, Rose. I really appreciate that. Um, and look, it worked out. It all worked out. So with the relapse going on, with the new boundaries being set going on, with the imposter syndrome going on, I had to record the demos, not just for JFCA, but for HSRCB as well. The Honkai Star Rail chorus battle, which Lost and Found Iteration 3 is entering. I also had to do the demo and the instrumental for that as well at the same time. Um, Gosh, who was it that said to me? It might have been Trains. I think they were like, because I was like, oh, like we were planning something. I was like, I think you have a busier schedule than I do, so just let me know like what works for you. And they're just looking at me just like, I think you have the busier schedule than I do, but okay. I'm like, oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And then literally, I think the next day, it was just like a bunch of us in the voice call, and then I'm just like, oh, I have this thing I have to do, and then I also have to call this thing. Oh yeah, also, fun fact, I'm also doing like IRL like recovery things at the same time. So I'm like there's a lot of phone calls with caseworkers and health professionals and doctor's appointments. And as I'm going through this, I was just like, okay, fine, Trains, you win. You're right. You're right. I've been proven wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. So, you're right. I'm sorry. And the call got a laugh out of it. But yeah. Anyway, like where do I even? Yeah. Okay. So all that's happening. There's a lot of recording. Again, snack cupboard there just to keep me accountable throughout all of it, and also just be like, "You got this. We believe in you," kind of a thing. Especially Spider Shoe. Oh my goodness, she's just like, "Yeah, you got it, baby. I believe in you." Gosh. And yeah, and then of course I was supporting the others with their stuff too, including she, and yeah, it was um they really kept me going. I think that's what I really meant to say. And Amelia at some point was also just like, "Oh, I'm gonna be available downtown." She lives out of town, that's why it's like I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna be like available after work if you wanted to take my extra food off my hands because Milia has this thing. Milia's the opposite of me. She like food is everything for her. Food is life because her family like has a big family and like they would always do these big meals. But because whenever she does have access to the kitchen, it's when like her parents aren't home because they're on a fishing trip or something because they're retirees. But like she always makes way too much food when she cooks, so she's always like, tea, do you want? Like, in this case, it was like, would you like some kokoma? I have lots of kokoma. I was like, why do you have so much kokoma? It's like, because the only place that had sweet potatoes was Galleria, and the bags are huge. That's too much for me. So please take some off my hands. I was like, well, okay. And so that was also when I told her, I was like, hey, just so you know, like, this is all the stuff that's going on. She's like, oh, no, okay. It just so happened that that day as well for lunch, her workplace had a barbecue buffet. She was like, "What? I'm getting you barbecue. What else do you want? Do you want the salad? If I get you the salad, you're gonna have to finish it in one go. Also, can you have pasta?" And I'm just like, I leave everything to you, and no, I cannot have the pasta, unfortunately. But thank you." Um, so she came over with like two handfuls of food. Basically, it was enough for I think 2 meals, 3 meals. If I count the koguma, actually, like the koguma alone lasted for about a week, and then the barbecue stuff was just for like that moment. And then we caught up for like an hour. And for me personally, I think when she said, "I heard the demos. You sound great. You'll be fine. You'll do great." Millie and I have been friends for like 11 years at this point. So to hear that from her, where I know her standards are very high as well, um, I I teared up, obviously. I got emotional. I was like, I love you very much, fam. She's like, ah, shucks, stop. I love you too. um, but yeah, like food, love, and friends all went hand in hand during this journey for me. Um, I did mention it to the talents, especially the dancers, um, only because I had to explain my delay with their demo tracks that I was going through this, but I mentioned it very, very lightly. I just said, like, just so you guys know, I am having an eating disorder relapse. I don't know if I specifically said eating disorder, if I just said health reasons. But yeah, I think it snapped into focus for the dancers as well. It's just like, okay, like this is as big as we think it is. So let's also do our best. They're very sweet. Like they kept cheering me on as well. Let me just open my emails. Let me I need to I need to just I won't read everything obviously for because like there's no need to, but like like I did back and forth in emails just so that Milia and Nickel could be kept in the loop. Um but at the beginning, it was just like, oh, here's the documentation, and here's the tentative stuff, and all the information that you might need. Please keep the NDA things under NDA, um, and whatnot. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. The name Wonder Street was actually chosen pretty early on. Yeah, it was chosen July 25th. Okay, that's cool. Um, then we were about a week out. Once we were a week out, that's when I'm just like, okay, we're learning things very slowly and incomplete. So, in case you missed it earlier, I mentioned that we only had a month to prepare, first of all, and second of all, the original plan with JFCA and me personally, as Altair of Astral Mile, was that I was going to have my own 20-minute set. Those were the two things that got changed. Um, Sorry, the second thing got changed, but the first thing was just like, okay, we have a month. Let's see what we can do. We found out a week out that we would not have sound check. Not just us, Anime North Live in general would not have sound check because out of the entire set, it would be the two Anime North Idol winners and myself and Yumimi who would need the sound checks. Everyone else did not need sound checks. And the schedule was very tight because there was a lot of, if you guys saw the programming, there were a lot of Japanese guests. A lot of big Japanese guests too. And so, um, as per traditional cultural courtesy, we were going in expecting to not have anything, much of anything, if at all. So I had sent an email to them, like we're officially a week away from showtime. Quick urgent notes. The 11 a.m. sound check I thought we had is actually not for us. It's for Machiko and Sarina. So um, need to double check something, but just letting you guys know we probably don't have a sound check. And I double checked. Andrew, just checking. Do we have a sound check? He's like, I'm so sorry, you do not. No one at Anime North Idol, no one with Anime North Live does. And I was like, cool. That's what I thought. Thank you. And I went back. I was like, hi guys. We don't have a sound check. But I was given permission to swing by the day before during other people's sound check to just look at the stage. Unfortunately, stage management with Mississauga did not get the memo because again it was mostly Andrew running the entire show and that man was stretched to his limits. Please claps for Andrew Scott. I didn't even get a chance to get on the stage to take photos because that was the plan. The plan was I was just gonna come on and then look. They said we're not gonna have a slot until like just before 7 p.m. And this place is out of town for me. I had to take transit back. I could not wait that long. Also, I had to still prepare for the show the next day, so I could not stay that long. I said my hellos to the guests that were there. I asked further questions about like where people could meet up, etc., etc. I thought this is gonna be great. This will be fine. And then the day came, and I got sick. Oh wait, before that, I should mention like in my emails, I was really trying to just. I did not want to let it show that I was panicking. Because the last time I let my cracks show was Don't Look Back, and that ruined me. Don't Look Back ruined me. I love that. I love the people. I love the people that put in the work. I love them to bits, and I have apologized to them for my behaviors already. But me personally, if somebody asks me, "Do you have any regrets?" My big regret will be like how I ran. Don't look back. That is my big regret. My big regret is how I ran that project, because I was not a good leader. I was not a good leader, and that like I did not know how to defend my own boundaries so that I could defend the boundaries of my team. So anyway, because of that experience, still fresh in my mind, I'm just like, you, altie, look at me. You are not gonna fuck this up. Sorry, I know I'm sorry. You are not gonna f this up. You hear me? Like you're not doing this again. You're not. You are not. You're not gonna be tail between your legs. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh, I have low self-worth. We're not doing this. Okay? You can think that all you want offline. But do not show that to the dancers. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. So every time I got a bit of bad news, like for instance, we don't have sound check, or hey, we don't know when we're going on yet, or hey, I think this is when we're going on, but like I'm still not 100% sure, or like anything like that, or when the dancers ask me questions, I'm just like, oh, I don't know, but let me find out for you, and then I still have to spend time finding the answers. Every time the little things like that happen, I was thinking to myself, I'm just like crying a little bit on the inside. Oh, I hope the dancers don't watch this. Vince, if you're watching this, don't say anything. um, um, but like I really had to. I swore to myself I was gonna keep my shit together, even though I felt like I was already falling apart because of the eating disorder and everything. And again, if it wasn't for Amelia, and if it wasn't for Snack Cover Crew, I don't think I would have made it this far. Um, and it's I I can hide my insecurities behind a screen, right? I can hide it behind a screen. I can type like I got all the energy in the world. It's a different story when you're arriving on the venue and you had a flare up earlier that day. Oh my gosh, I got up early. I'm just like, I'm just gonna have a little relaxing time. I'm gonna make something from my friend's birthday that was earlier that week, and then I'm gonna deliver it after, like, before I go in for the show, because I'm gonna get there early. No problem. I got this. Of course, my anxiety, because it was being suppressed, because I apparently don't know how to regulate myself still, um, made way more of a mess in the kitchen than I had anticipated. Your Straw for thank you. Straw for powers for all this. Thank you, Rose. Uh, Strong or stupid? I'm still trying to figure it out. I think desperate. I was definitely desperate. Um, I spilled milk all over the table. Um, my dishes were all over the place. The ingredients were not cooking properly the way I had planned them to, and was causing more mess. Everything I had planned for that window of time was not working out for some reason. Everything was chaos. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, if trends are following with every other thing in my life so far, that must mean that the performance will go well, right? Yes, it did. It did go well. I little spoiler alert. It did go well. However, at what cost? At what cost? So basically, because I was cleaning up the mess that was being made from my fibro freaking out, being like, yeah, knock this over, drop this, knock that over. Oh my gosh, I'm losing balance everywhere. Two things I realized. One, my own home is now hazardous because my condition has come that far along. So that is something that I have to consider for when I move. And two, oh my god, I'm in a lot of pain. And I was in so much pain that I couldn't even finish packing up my bags to get out. And I was supposed to catch a bus. I was not gonna make that bus. I spent, I think, an hour trying to calm the pain down using non both medicated and non-medicated methods. It's not pretty. It's not it makes me feel worse every time. I feel icky every time I have to do it. But it needed to be done. And finally, when I did get it done, I had to take I had to take a ride share. I couldn't take the bus anymore. I had to take the ride share. And even with the ride share, it is like an hour drive to the venue from where I live. And there was traffic because it was midday. The whole reason why I was trying to leave in the morning was so that I avoid the traffic, but I couldn't avoid the traffic. And so on my Instagram story too, I was just like, "Hi, finally on my way. Had a fibro flare up, but it's just this is what it means to have a brave day sometimes. Just you gotta check through it." And the dancers thankfully saw it on Instagram. They're just like, "Okay, we you got this. We believe in you." And they wanted to see Machiko earlier anyway, so it was fine. Um, I I got there, thankfully, in a timely manner. Met up with Lori, or Pretty Night Lori, because they were the stylist for me and Yumemi for the show. So like you'll see when the video comes out, or if you've seen social media as well. Like I'm wearing an OG coordinate, OG Lolita coordinate. All those pieces were on lease. Yeah. We were borrowing them from Lori. But yeah, Lori coordinated and styled everyone for the J Fashion segment for Anime North, as well as for DCS by styling me and Yumemi. Um, so that did get done on time. Like things were done on time. That is all that mattered. Um, and thankfully, the green room situation was not as bad as I had anticipated either. There was quite a bit of space because we were so far along in the scheduling. So, but the thing is, like, I think yeah, Reset had a cup sleeve event that they were coming in from earlier that day, and I'm just like, oh, okay, good luck. Just make sure you get here by 5 o'clock, and it'll be okay. Cause our call time I think was 5:30 or something like that. And I'm just like, just a little bit of extra buffer, just in case. Um, so mostly it was me and Wonder Street, figuring out the details, and I was already going into this with the mindset of like the definition of the greatest show or Saiko no show is not going to be based on technique. It's not going to be based on how clean it is. It's going to be based on how pumped up the energy of the audience gets. It's going to be based on energy, it's going to be based on passion and confidence. So I knew that if I continued to sorry, if I slipped up, if I messed up still, like morale could break at the drop of a hat. I'm just like I can't. I have to pull yourself together, Alti, just for a little bit longer. You saw? Oh, thank you. I felt amazing. I was sweat. It was 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It was really hot, really humid. The sun was burning. We were sweaty. Poor Yumemi's skin was freaking out because of how hot it was. My skin was also freaking out. Um, but by the time we went on stage, it cooled down significantly enough that it was no issue. But during practice, we had to go out onto because there was another dance group there using the green room. We had to go out on, and originally the plan was to like go downstairs, go out to like little side area next to the stage, and practice there because there was more room. But um, I realized by that point my energy was gone. I had hit my limit. And the dancers were gonna arrive shortly, and I think Yumemi noticed it. Because she went into caretaker mode, or just like, I guess, like project lead mode, or event coordinator mode. She's like, where do you want the dancers? What do they need to work on? Like, stage placement wise, what is their plan? Um, should we move out to rehearse and stuff like that? Should we practice now? Unfortunately, we couldn't practice with Yumimi in time because she had to run to Sprinkles Idol Fest across the street. And she's like, oh, they're ahead of schedule apparently, so I have to go now. Bye. They're like, oh, okay. But thankfully, she did get to see the dancers before she left, so she knew what she was gonna do. And now all that was left just to do like a couple of run throughs with me. And again, things were going well. Things never go well. I'm not used to things going well. But while I'm looking at the lyrics on my phone, I can see out of the corner of the top of my eye, my peripheral view is very wide. I could see the dancers in front of me doing their moves, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it'll be okay. Everything will be okay. And I said to them, it's like, you guys are great, by the way. And they're like, thank you. And I think when I showed relief, is also when they felt relief. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, yeah, I think like the only concern we had was just like, oh, like Orbit's shirt was riding up quite a bit because it's just because of the fabric of the costumes. There is very very smooth, and um, Orbit is very very skinny. I am jealous. But yeah, it's just once they figured out, it's like, oh, like we could try this, and then we need to fix this. But first, it's like Natty had to fix her wig, I think, because she usually cosplays as Kohane, but like for that act, she was cosplaying as An, and there's a lot of hair. There's a lot of hair there, so I'm just like, are you sure you don't want to do another run through with the wig? And she's like, I know what it is that I have to do, and it's gonna take too long to do that now, so I trust the process. I got it. Don't worry. I was like, okay. And so I had prepared for them some pocket change because I felt bad. Also, I was just like, I just need to make sure they stay fed, and I didn't want money to be a reason why, just in case. Not that any of them had an issue with it. Apparently, it was just me. Um, um, it's just something that I got too used to doing, and so I'm just like, oh, I forgot. I shouldn't expect others to be going through the same problems as me, but it's okay. It worked out because it's what is it? It's still, you could still say more with money sometimes. I think that was something said, like money speaks a specific language, and in my case, I wanted to say like thank you for your hard work, but also please kind of like go and enjoy the festival. Um, a little hiccup there was just I accidentally gave all $60 to the four members when it should have been only 40 to them. So like when Reset arrived, I'm just like, huh, I swear I took out enough cash for this. Why don't I have cash for them? And then as we're lining up from the green room to go down the elevator to backstage, Natty comes up to me. It's like, Altair, how much money did you give me? I was like, I think $60, $10 for each of you, right? And she was like, oh my, she's like, oh, I understand now. So she whips out the wallet, turns to Aaron and S. It's just like, for you guys, and she pulls out the money for them. They're like, what's this? And it's like, that was for you guys. I was wondering why my math didn't match up. She's like, we spent 40. Why do like we spent 20? Why do I still have $40 left? And so she was like, this is for you guys. That's why. So I was like, thank you, Natty, for keeping me I don't know if accountable is the right word. Just like keeping me grounded, because even like, yes, Yumimi was also helping me stay grounded too, but also like Natty was also being like, where would you like us? What do you like? What do you think is the time we're gonna be heading down? Um, we would like to do this. Are we able to do this, etc., etc.? So I really appreciated that as well, and like the agency that she took to make sure things were on track for her team. I really appreciated that. um I also just really appreciate the fact that I didn't have to do all of the work alone when I got there, because yeah, I got used to doing things alone, and especially as you get older, it becomes lonelier and lonelier. So even though I still plan on, doing activities as a soloist, I don't plan on Astral Mile becoming a formal group again anytime soon. But like doing collaborations and whatnot, I think that's nice. It's also like confirmed for me. I was like, oh yeah, congratulations, Alti. You are now at a point where you actually do need an agency, whether you like it or not, or you need a manager at least. Like you're too old for this, man. But like, it's just like, that's the two things about an agency, right? Like, why would you want to go into an agency instead of going indie? There's should be two main reasons. One, you need the help. You need a lot of help because you have all these plans that you want to do, but maybe you don't have all of the um, physical resources to do it, and like just to meet bare minimums. I'm not even talking about like, oh, like I'd love to do this big project, but I don't have to meet. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about bare bone basics. Like, can you even schedule your stream properly without somebody helping you? If the answer is no, you might like and stuff like calendars and whatnot doesn't matter because it's an energy issue. Then yeah, that's the time. Then you're probably gonna need a manager. Second thing is collaboration, right? It's one thing to be a soloist in indie, or it's one thing to be a group in indie. It is another to be a soloist as part of an agency where you are sharing management and resources and titles and label everything. Like there, it is just it's much more conducive for collaborations if you go into a label or agency. This goes for VTubing, this goes for music, this goes for entertainment, this goes for everything. I did not have the best of experiences with agencies, if I'm being really honest with you, and so I was really, really hesitant to take this route. But I had to acknowledge two things. One, I don't have the energy that I did in my 20s. I just don't. I've unfortunately been through too much shit to have anything left to be able to do things on my own. That being said, I still want to do things. It's just that now, and honestly, this is one of the times where I'm just like, oh, the disability gave me like a silver lining. The silver lining for me is that I am now much more open to collaboration. I'm also much more open to letting go of certain things in projects. For instance, like with what is it? Not with Don't Look Back. Now, Don't Look Back ended up having to be a lot of me anyway, but like there have been like other projects in the past where I did not put everything that I wanted in it because I knew I was sharing that space with the collaborators. Um, and that's not something that I was good at doing, even during chapter one of Astral Mile. That's something I had to learn when I started using my wheelchair. So yeah, like I'm realizing just like I'm getting more good and growth and abundance from letting go of the perfectionism and letting go of just wanting to do everything. Obviously, now the lesson is how much of that creative control do I gain back for myself? Because that was my challenge with Don't Look Back. Um, but that is a much easier journey to go on, I think, if I keep creating. And I can't keep creating unless I have help. So that's why I am looking into agencies and management now, which is not something that was in my plan, but we're here. We're gonna make it work. It also means that until then, my activities are still gonna be pretty slow, unfortunately. because I'm doing all of the admin by myself. Even an assistant. I don't even need a manager, I don't think. Well, nah, maybe in the beginning I might. But like, for me personally, I need an assistant more than anything. I need somebody to like handle social media and like the editing stuff and all the stuff that like I am not physically able to sit in front of a computer for hours on end to do anymore. I need help with the things like figuring out logistics because that alone takes a lot more time than I thought, and I did not have as much time to practice as I would have liked because I was too busy being an organizer. That's why I'm like, I see Yuma-chan going into, or Yumemi going into, event coordination along with her idol career now. I'm just like, yo, that takes me back. That takes me back. I don't do main coordination anymore. I'm only assistant coordinator now, thank goodness. But yeah, I I really admire that she's taking that route. Not many newer V singers and idols will do that. Um, but also, I noticed during JFCA in the green room just how much she's matured from that experience as well. It's like it's still the same, like very sweet and mostly positive outlook, Yumimi, but I think she has now come to understand. It's like, you can still respect people, but also you can maybe criticize a little bit, um, whether they're doing their jobs well or not. um, Especially if it throws a lot of people under the bus in the process of running it. Yeah, we both had that experience with the same organization, and we were not happy. Yeah. Anyway, that's a different story. That is a different story for another time. Um, we still always hope for the best of everyone. It's just that they're gonna need to prove it. They're gonna need to put in the extra work to prove it. Just saying. Um, so I'll jump to after the show now, because I mean the show once the con. I think when actually no, let me talk about the show a little bit more. Okay, but I'll do the extra work, Nessie. Nessie, I'd have to pay you, and I can't pay you right now. That's why I said that. No, I have to be able to pay people first. No, I'm not making you work for free. Um, Thank you though. I appreciate the offer. We get to the backstage. Everyone's just like, oh, it's here. Oh, it's time. And Natty is just like, Natty says something that um is so relatable that I was just like, oh, thank goodness it's not just me. Um, she's like, I'm going through I'm going through that stage just before performing where I forgot all my moves. I was like, oh yeah, that I did that with my lyrics too. Don't worry. And she's like, yeah, no. Once I get up there, I'll remember everything. Like fine, but like up until then, I'm kind of blanking out. I'm just like, oh, I'm not 100% sure. Pay me. That's it now. Now. It's so much of it. It's so tedious and so time consuming. I can't ask anyone to do this work for free. It's just not. No, 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 no. It's too much. I have to pay. Thank you so much for the offer, Nessie. But I have to pay. Is because that's that much work. Also work on your own thing first. What the heck, man? Work on yourself first before you offer to someone else. Right. I took notes and I'm still losing track. Another funny thing I'll mention is Orbit said a lot of very interesting things during the thing. Um, uh, when I was giving the $10 to them, Orbit was like in the room, and then like they finally came back out, and they're like, "What's this? Whoa!" Whoa, we're getting allowance from our boss? That's crazy. I, well, I that sucker pushed me a little bit. I'm just like, I'm sorry guys, give me a second. That made me laugh. And then when we were finally backstage, Vivi, who was the idol winner, she came up to me and she's like, I didn't know while we were backstage together that you were the one who sang who did the English version of ID Smile. I was just like, I didn't, or like I don't remember the exact wording she said, but just like, I didn't know I knew your YouTube before I met you backstage. I'm just like, you realize that now? What, you realize that afterwards? What? um, but yeah, I had a lot of people approach me after the show saying like, oh, I'm a fan of your song. I really love ID Smile. Really love Neo. I was like, oh, thank you. I didn't realize you guys were listening to my stuff. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate it. Yeah, ID Smile. Still, one day I'll be able to sing it again. That was before my voice dropped, so I don't know how I can sing it again. But yeah. Also, I think I was like heavily tuned for that cover anyway because it was hard to sing. I need to see how I sound again. Um, but I guess when we actually perform, and then this is getting to that thing of like, oh, I know who you are again. While I think you might be able to hear it in the video when it comes out next month. Shoko-san is still editing it. That's the other thing. Yeah, I decided to hire a videographer, and I was just like, if the dancers want the footage, just help me pay for it, and then you're good. And both of them were like, yes, we'll help you pay for it. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, thank you. um, and then Yuma-chan was also just like, I'll also help stuff that money. I was like, oh my god, thank you. Um, so yeah, I'm very thankful. But anyway, like Shoko-san does an amazing job. All of the official footage you see for JFCA is by Shoko-san. So I was just like, hey, and I was right to do it. It was a good idea to do it after all because that stage is so big and outdoors that fan cams don't do it justice. They don't do they don't do the performances justice. Also, because we did not have a sound check, the Mississauga camera people did not know what the heck to do with us. They didn't know what to expect, so they had no cues, and so the camera angles on the large screens were really awkward. Like originally, the plan for today's stream was to like go through the footage with you guys and talk about it, but then I looked through the footage. I'm just like, I can't. I legitimately cannot. Like, none of it makes sense. Also, I accidentally caught some other idols kind of not being very supportive in 4K, so I'm just like, that's not gonna be very nice to them, so I'm just gonna... Yeah, let's not do that. So I'm talking about it instead. um, yeah, we're... Well, I was like, that was the first time I was showing those lyrics ever. Like that song got its debut on that stage, so no one was gonna know that song. Um, Also, like half of it was me just like screaming into the microphone because I can't rap, and also I was trying to hype the audience up. But also, like at the moment that S and Aaron got like doing the ooh la la parts, the crowd went wild. We're just like, oh my gosh. Andrew was also saying, oh, it sounds like you have some fans, and I was like, yeah, in the audience. Um, um, Also, they were just so good. I'm so glad I learned that song. It was that way better option than Amito Petra. Just saying. And they still cosplayed as Akito and Toyo for it. And they looked hot. They danced hot. They were great. I loved it. I was just like, you guys are good. You guys are so good. But I think it was S who almost walked off the stage because they weren't paying attention. I was like, oh my god, don't fall off stage, please. And then it was like a little bit of a break. And then it was time for Flyer with Wonder Street and Yumemi. And we get in position. We start the song. And at that point, I realized like my condition is not good enough to keep pitch. That is something I realized. Because that's what happens. Like my constitution is so weak now that if I'm even a little bit tired, if I'm even a little bit past my threshold, I can't keep I can't keep a tune because the muscles around my voice have loosened. Thanks, Fibro. You decide to tense up the legs and loosen my voice. That's very helpful. Totally. So I realized like if I want to still make this an enjoyable performance from my end and not mess it up for everyone else, I need to just focus on energy. I need to focus on just bringing the hype up. So you're gonna notice in when the video comes out next month, there's not a whole lot of singing from me. Most of the singing is coming from you, Mimi. Um, that's the reason why. It's because I had the energy and I had the fire in me, but my body could not keep up, and my body was already starting to fall apart. So a lot of it was just like, sing if you know it, reach for the sky, you got it, the wall, oh! Stuff like that. What shocked me though, I can't remember which line it was. I'll have to check the video. But somebody to my left, and I knew my friends were not there. My friends were in the center area or the far right. But I hear from my left a group of folks singing. I think the line was, "As I draw my visions out from my world," or something like that. It was one of the chorus lines. And I heard someone else singing that line. So I whirled around and I pointed my finger to the audience. Like, who was it? Which one of you lovelies did? And of course everyone was chanting like, "Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, oh." I can't show the footage I got from fan cam stuff because it doesn't show that. It doesn't show just the sheer volume and energy of the crowd going all like whoa, oh together at the same time. It just doesn't hit the same. And just yeah, I just wait till the video comes out, guys. I hope the video captured it well. Shoka-san onegaishimasu. Um, and that's how I knew everything was gonna be alright. And everything was alright. Even if it wasn't perfect, even if I was exhausted, it was worth it. I had told a friend, actually, I think I told a few of my friends, that the upcoming Lost and Found song is gonna be focusing on this a lot because it was a theme that I wanted to focus on while getting ready. Also, it happened to match the theme that the rest of the group wanted to pursue as well, which was we wanted to focus on Firefly for our song. I told my friends I would much rather burn myself to ashes, at least trying to pursue my ambitions, than to slow myself down so much that I can't get anything done and just prolong this existence longer. I'm not afraid of dying. I think I've gone past that point. What I am afraid of is not doing the things that I want to do, or not leaving a record behind to say, hey, guess what, this is possible. Guess what, like, expectations can be subverted. Things can change. And I can't do that unless I push myself. So I really am functioning now, chapter 2 and into chapter 3 as well now, um, with the expectation that it's not gonna be for a long time, but it will be for as long as I can. And I'm gonna go as hard as I can. And hopefully, when the time comes that I will have come to ashes, there are gonna be much more energetic and talented kohais to continue that path and carry the torch onward. And that is also something that I came to really internalize and understand and own up, not own up to, but like really own it as my belief. It was after we did the 2 shows. So yeah. After the show, we rolled off. Well, I rolled off. Everybody else walked off. I said, "Let's go to some of this, everyone. Thank you for your hard work." I'll send more information later. And then all the kohais were just like, thank you again for the opportunity, and stuff like that were very, very sweet. And I was also just basking in their firelight because they're all burning with passion. I'm just like, oh, this is nice. Please, yes, please be excited on my behalf as well because I don't have energy left. Um, Yumemi, I think at that point was also very tired, so we're all just like, we're like holding each other by the waist. We're just like, cause I'm sitting all the time, but she's standing. I'm just like hugging her by her waist, and she's like, and her hand over my shoulder, like, we did it, senpai. I'm like, yeah, we did it. Oh my gosh, we did it. Thank you again. And then as we were getting off into like heading towards the green room again, we got stopped by a bunch of people to take photos with us. And Spider, she just ran up to us. She's like, I'm so proud of you. And she's like, you look so cute. I'm about to cry. Oh, gosh, she's so sweet. And she was also dressed very nice too. She had she had her own frills on. She had a kamikaze. She had a pink kamikaze or kazara. I can't talk. The yukata accessory in her hair. She looked really cute. And her makeup's always on point. And so she took a selfie with me and Yuma-chan. And then I think it was Otako's cousin that wanted photos with us as well. And she was so excited with the fly with Reset and Wonder Straight. And I guess it just means that they really enjoyed the show. And there were a lot of people that I didn't know by name, but I recognized their faces from like previous post-show meets that also came up and like gave me a hug. It's like, you were great, and get home safe. And there was a lot of love and appreciation, and I'm glad. You can tell I'm getting both tired and emotional right now too. Oh man, is this what it means to be old now? Ugh, I don't know if I like it. Um, Something else that did happen there, I found out now was in the audience. Um, Gut feeling, I kind of knew it would happen. It's just according to the laws of physics, it just seemed like the most efficient thing to happen. Um, they're doing good. They're much happier. Um, they came to the festival alone this time, which shows that they're slowly working on their independence more now as well. So I'm very proud of them for that. And I did not speak with them because I don't think they were ready to speak with me just yet. And to be honest, I don't think I was either. Ah! Hi, she. Do you like the? Do you like how your photos on display again? Physics, yes, Rose. Quantum physics specifically. Every route is like that for a test. Very testing video. Every route is always the most efficient. We only ever see the most efficient. Yes, hi. Hi. You did a little lurky. Okay. Also, Rose says that your photo is amazing. If you want to reply to that in chat. Um, I think she's getting ready for pre-pie. Oh gosh, I forgot what they call it. It's like Pokemon related. I think Pi is the one that's hosting. It's either Pi and or Itsuki who are hosting it. But anyway, once the information is out, I'll share it. But Pokemon battle related. It's gonna be fun. Um, Oh yeah, I only knew Nao was in the audience because we share mutuals, and so the mutuals came out just like, hey, just so you know, like Nao is here. I was like, oh, do they know I'm performing? And they're like, I don't think they do. And then later I was talking to She about it. And people, you shush. Speaking of which, beautiful subject. Thank you, but no you. Uh, what was it? Uh, oh yeah, Spider She was telling me after the show, it's like, oh, it was actually really funny how they found out because when during the cosplay showcase, the run during the masquerade portion, um, the camera panned following the cosplayer, and it caught me and Yumimi taking a selfie together in the back. And I'm just like, wow, that is actually a jump scare. What the? But yeah, apparently that's how they found out. But I was told later as well. It's like no, they were into the song just as much as everyone else. Um, and my emotions are still kind of mixed on that, to be really honest, because yeah, there was a lot of pain during that departure, but this is also closure. Just wanted you guys to know. Yes, I did. I am aware now it was there. They seem happy, and that's all that matters. Which means I am also going to be happy. Do I think that that required to be a prerequisite? No, I don't. But um, it'll make it easier for me. Which means chapter two is about to come to a close. Um, moving forward, I am gonna try and focus on live performance more. Gonna try and get a webcam, maybe, but also I'm so tired these days. I don't know if a webcam. Actually, no. I think a webcam will help because you guys can see my facial expressions instead of me having to try and voice everything. I don't on tired days I'll use it for live 2D tracking because my computer can actually handle that now. I have a Mac now. So yeah, no, I'll eventually get it. It's just like HD webcams are so expensive nowadays that I have to be smart about it, but it will happen eventually. If not, I'll keep using my phone and not try and play games on that state. Oh, that's right. HSR. I can only play on mobile now because apparently you have to go through all these like hoops and loops to get it onto a Mac, not an iPad or a tablet, but like literally a Mac. So I'm just like, wow, I'm too tired for this. So I'm just gonna screen share my phone from now on, and that is how we're gonna do HSR streams. If we decide to do HSR streams, it might just be my comfort game from now on. Who knows? We shall see. The world is our oyster. But that being said, I do want to play Uma Musume on stream more rather than just me playing it offline. Yeah. Um. And if you saw the Discord server, we saw Machiko live as well. Amazing. My gosh, hearing Winning the Soul. As soon as I heard the guitar riff, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're here. It's time. It's time. But like my other Uma Musume friends, they're just like, oh, what song is this? What song is this? They didn't know what song it was until they hit the chorus. And I'm just like, guys, no, this is the song. This is Tokaiteo's song. um, but yeah, so I was first to jump into it in my friend group at least. So, but everyone else was also just like, yeah, we're switching our light sticks to red. We're gonna yeah. That was fun. Fair enough. Yeah, it works. Um, yeah, I want to keep performing live in general, live performance, because to me that is so much easier than social media. I'm a boomer through and through. No, I'm a millennial, but I am a boomer through and through in spirit. Um, I am the guy that will forget to leave the house with his phone. Like I am that guy. That is how that is how much I touch grass. So I am realizing, especially as I'm getting older, I was like, you know what? I still feel the most at home when I'm performing on stage. So let's make that the focus moving forward. Um, I have applied for one or two things later this year. We'll see if I actually get it or not. But in the meantime, I'll slowly get back to streams and covers. I had to miss Kage Pro Day this year because of JFCA. Unfortunately, I did not get to recover Summertime Record, which I wanted to, but that'll be for next year. Um, no, my focus is gonna be on lost and found projects, including my self cover of Don't Look Back, which I'm actually just gonna be rearranging now. It's not gonna sound the same as the version that was released for Multiverse Vistas, because I want to totally redo it. Because unfortunately, as it currently stands, my own arrangement is triggering me. So I was just like, okay, I guess I have to do things my own way, which means it'll just be different. It'll be a self cover, if anything. And October 30th is Astral Mile's anniversary, including the solo stuff. This year, I do want to re-debut Chapter 3 as well for the 5th anniversary, which was supposed to include an album, but I'm not so sure about that anymore. So it'll probably just be like one new original song or something like that. And I'll be releasing a cover song. Yeah, I'm gonna release a cover song with lore-related visuals teased. It's not gonna be like a fancy thing. It's fancier than the stuff I've been doing lately because that is like me functioning at 5% battery, but and also I have an upgrade with my computer now, so I can actually run After Effects properly. But that I don't know how soon that cover will come out because of the video, but the recording should take me almost no time. So we'll see. We'll see how fast I can draw, because that's been a bit of a challenge for me lately. But I am looking forward to the new design. The design, by the way, for Chapter 3 is done. It has been drafted. I just need to like make an official sheet for it. But yeah, I think starting next week or possibly this weekend, it's mostly gonna be me working on Chapter 3 and preparing for that. So live streams are still gonna stay pretty reduced to I think like 1 to 2 a week for now. And then once Chapter 3 begins, hopefully we can bump that up to 3, 4 times a week again. We'll see how things go. But yeah, first things first, I need to recover. My energy needs to come back. I need to get back into eating normally. I have to restore all the missing. I'm taking BCAA supplements now. I didn't even know what that was before. I was just like, oh, what's this thing that all these like buff guys are eating? No, it turns out I need them because my muscles all disintegrated, so I have to rebuild my muscles. I have to take. I almost said blockchain. No, I meant to say by something B chain amino acids. Basically, they help build muscle. So I'm just like, oh, I guess I do need that. Okay, so I take a scoop a day and it tastes like watermelon. I'm just like, this is really weird and I have to chug it, but okay, here it goes. This is my medicine. And I also have to do protein shakes and whatnot for a while, but hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. We are getting there already. So yeah, that's it. That's the JFCA recap. Um, I guess one other thing I will say is just like I'm very thankful to the people who also showed their appreciation for me, I guess. I'm not used to it. Like I said, all of this. I'm not used to any of this. I'm not used to any of this, guys. But I also have to remind myself I did the work to get here. So I should I want to. I want to own it. I want to own it. Okay. That's it for tonight, y'all. Um, very excited for the video, even more after hearing everything that went into the premiere side. Thank you, Rose. I hope you guys enjoy when you do see it. Shogo-san is a very talented videographer as well, and like the message that he had sent after the show as well is very encouraging for me as well. He said like it made him feel excited. I was like, that's what we were going for. We did our job. We did our job. Yay! Oh my goodness, I was so worried, but we did it. So please check out Reset and Wonder Street's socials. I will Well, they are linked on my Instagram, so if you're on, and they are, I think they are only on Instagram as well and TikTok. So if you see them around, please give them your love and support. Oh, Kirby, hello! Thank you again for dropping by and saying hello to me as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for seeing the show in person as well. Oh my goodness, I really appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. Um, okay, now this old man's gonna go lie down. He's gonna go lie down and eat dinner. But thanks so much for dropping by, y'all. Have a brave night, and I'll see you guys. Oh yes, I will see you guys on Friday at. I'm gonna change it to 7. Yeah, I'll change it to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Uma Musume live stream. I don't think it's gonna be Teo because I'm close to finishing her career. We're likely gonna start Nice Nature next. Because I promised somebody I would do Nice Nature next. So yeah, we'll start Nice Nature's career on Friday. Yeah. Have a brave night, everyone. Bye bye.